Hey all, Hipper here. So it's time to take out the Des Moines again, because I so happen to have just finished her in the bureau, and I really haven't been boosting her. I don't think I have at all, but anyway, there she is. And of course, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and obviously comment on the videos. I love to hear what you guys have to say about what I'm doing. So some of you caught an error in my Alaska video earlier, that I wasn't actually running a full anti-dispersion build, but I am now. So Azure Lane Montpelier here as the primary commander, and then as an inspiration we have Vian plus 4% incoming fire dispersion, and then, as you all told me, put a Zuma on there as well, and I have. So she's 16-2, and we'll just take the all-out assault here as well. Gives you plus 10% incoming fire dispersion. And with the Zuma at 16.2, that gives me 1.8% additional, plus Vian's 4%, and plus the 5% that you get by installing the concealment module, this module here. So it's a total of something. I can't really figure that out right now, but it's more than 20%. And Azure Lane Azuma, she's 16.2, and making her 16.4 is not really worth it, I think, because you have to spend 21 commendations to get 0.2% extra incoming dispersion. I don't think that's going to make much difference. But anyway, this is pretty much as high an anti-dispersion build that you can possibly have. And as you can see, this is the first battle where I took Des Moines out after I unlocked her in the bureau, and I forgot to change the spotting plane to the radar. Yeah, I did that. But obviously, don't forget to do that, because obviously you want the radar, you don't want the spotting plane. So in this battle here, I'm going to show you, I'm hoping to show you what the anti-dispersion build actually does, because, well, I'm going to play this as a super standard Baltimore style, Des Moines style here, which is, in my opinion, extremely boring, like super boring. But yeah, it's efficient, and I mean, if this is your idea of fun, then, well, by all means, go for it. It is not my idea of fun. And I will only be using this build here, actually, when I play in a division with, like, Aaron or Peak or whatever, someone where, I actually, have to support them. So it's a very good build. I really like it. I think it's probably the best build you can pop on your American cruisers. And as you can see here, I'm purposely just staying bow on. I'm going to see how much damage I'm going to take, and how the incoming shells look, and if this build actually does something. Which obviously, yes, it does. I can say that for certain. I think it's actually very, very efficient. Of course, I cannot prove it, because this is all, random number based. I mean, the Vanguard shoots, and some sort of calculation is done on how much his dispersion is, and my anti-dispersion build, and all sorts of random stuff, and another wasted salvo incoming there. Lots of weird calculations that I have no idea and no way of checking and getting into the bottom of, but I can tell that I'm taking way less damage with this build here. And the best thing about this build here is that it doesn't matter how good the player you're facing. Like, say I was facing I don't know, Peak in this Vanguard here, I would be pretty worried because Peak knows how to aim. And I mean, with this build here, it takes away some of, the advantage that good players have, because they have no control over RNG or random numbers or the calculations in the game. It's sort of random, And with this build here, I am more than negating whatever precision build that, let's say, Peak would have put on this Vanguard here. I'm probably, actually making it worse than it would be stock. Of course, only when he shoots at me. So I think it's a pretty good build, this one here, actually. Of course, you're giving up a little bit of reload on your guns, but it doesn't really bother me. And I mean, as you'll see in this battle here, it doesn't really matter. You'll do those like 200,000 damage easily, no matter what. You don't need to spec in to reload and get it down to 3.5 seconds or something like that. It's just overkill. And I already have Igniter on this build, so I have better fire chance as well. So I'm not really missing any damage output as such. Concealment is another matter. Of course, it's not. I don't have bad concealment at all. I have the concealment module on the ship. I just don't have any concealment inspirations or perks chosen because obviously this is a full anti-dispersion build used to, you know, drive the likes of Peak nuts when they shoot at cruisers and they get bad dispersion. So yeah, I kind of wish that Vanguard actually was Peak because I would really like to hear what he had to say after aiming at a full anti-dispersion build like this, if he can actually feel it. And I mean, there's no way of testing this stuff out because it's just too difficult to get into a battle with, like, let's say Peak again. I mean, sure, we can division up, but then we're on the same team and it's kind of, you know, worthless. So like I said, I can't prove in any way that this build here actually makes the incoming shells hit you less, but my feeling, my personal feeling, and, you know, my experience from using this build here on especially Alaska is that, yeah, it definitely helps. And especially if you stay bow on, which you'll do most of the time in American cruisers. You are a very small target then already, and with the improved, or should I say the reduced incoming dispersion, it'll be even harder to actually hit you. And like I also said in the Alaska video, Des Moines has less armor than Alaska, so like any shell that doesn't hit you is well, a good shell. And with this build here, you're going to get hit by, I would say, 20% less shells. It's like a rough estimate, and then that's all I can give you guys, an estimate. But that's how I see it. And as you saw in the beginning of this battle here, I took my fair share of incoming salvos from battleships and cruisers, and I will do going on in the battle here. And I think that it's not obvious that the anti-dispersion build works, but you know, over a longer period of time, you will definitely feel that it does have an impact. And like I said earlier, this is, I'm not going to say it's the best build for Des Moines, but it's one of the best builds because Des Moines is smaller than Alaska, and you know, it really benefits from this build here, especially because you spend so much time bow on, like I also said before, that well, it makes very good sense to me. And like I said, I'm going to go with this build here because first of all, I like it, and I'm not a big fan of all-out damage builds, as you probably know by now. And this is obviously a more defensive build, which I kind of like, and it's also something out of the ordinary, you know, and it's something to like really annoy the better players in the game when they, you know, they line up a perfect like AP death strike through the bow, and then they get terrible dispersion, and you can burn them down in the next 30 seconds. That's my idea of fun in this game here. So that's kind of why I really want to test this out on Peak, or, you know, Red October, or someone who actually knows what they're doing. So concerning Des Moines, I said this is like, I just got the ship in the bureau, but obviously this is not my first battle in the ship. I had it like on loan for, I believe, 3 weeks, probably a couple of months ago now, and I played a lot of battles in it. And I already had the camo and everything ready, so that's also why I wasn't there in that much of a hurry to actually unlock it in the bureau. I actually did Worcester first because I thought, oh, okay, that's something I haven't tried yet, and yeah, that's a ship I don't like, by the way. Anyway, Des Moines I like. I mean, it's a powerful cruiser, obviously, and I mean, I'm not gonna say anyone can do well in this ship, but most people are going to do pretty well in this ship unless you show broadside. And I mean, I can say that for every ship in the game. Because, like I said, this is my first game, or is it my second game? I think it's my first game. As an actual, like, honest to, you know, real owner of the ship, because it's unlocked in the bureau by myself, yours truly, It's not a loner from Wargaming, and like I get more than 200,000 damage in this battle here, so it's like no one's gonna come and tell me that this is a high skill ship, because it's not. Is it a powerful ship? Yes, absolutely. Is it a good division ship? Absolutely. Probably one of the best out there. And of course, if you take it out in a division or solo or AI or anything pretty much, just remember to switch the plane to the radar. That's just a little pro tip here. No, I'm kidding. I just assumed it was already switched, because obviously I switched it on the loner, but apparently it's not when you get it again. But who knows? Anyway, of course I've switched the plane to the radar now, but I didn't have it for this battle, and it's okay. There aren't that many destroyers in this battle here, and as you can see, I have plenty of backup over here on the flank, so it doesn't really matter. Of course I would have loved to have it, but I mean, that just wasn't to be. So my main criticism on this ship here, and pretty much all the US cruisers for that matter, is that they're just so boring to play. Really. In this battle here, the first 5 minutes, I hardly moved. I just sat there spamming HE, and you know, that's it. That's really it. And then if there's a destroyer in the vicinity, you pop your radar and you kill it, and that's it. You don't have any, you know, torpedoes or anything to, you know, pull something off a little bit fun or daring. No, you just have to sit like bow on and shoot the enemy. And with the DPM of the ship here, then it's really hard for pretty much any ship to do anything to you. So here I was very happy this Georgia here came through the channel, because okay, I was going to see like, okay, how well does this build here work at, you know, point blank range. And you saw he shot at me in the beginning, and I think he got one hit with one shell. And I mean, that's pretty good at 6 kilometer range or whatever it was. And just unfortunately I have to take out the gearing here first, because I mean, that's pretty much my job. The Georgia shoots again, and you can see like most of the shells go somewhere completely different than through my bow. And I like that. I mean, that is like super infuriating for battleship players, and if there's anything I like, it is to annoy battleship players on the opposite team, obviously. And I think it's hard to be more annoying than with this build here, because you can pretty much sit bow on like I did to that Georgia there within 5-6 kilometers and pretty much out DPM the battleships this way, because they can't hit you, and if they hit you, it's only one shell at the most, and you gotta be pretty unlucky for that one to be a citadel as well. So is it a good build? Yes. Like I say, I cannot give you any like hard numbers or facts to back this up. I can only give you my impression, and my impression is that this build definitely works. And I also said this before, in the beginning I was very rough on Azure Montpelier, because I thought, what a stupid commander that is. But I have obviously thought a bit, and she's actually now my preferred commander for the American cruisers. The majority of them anyway. On Wichita I still don't use her. But definitely for Baltimore, which I never play by the way, Alaska, Des Moines, and I suppose Worcester as well. I have been dabbling a little bit in it, but I don't think on Worcester it... see, he just saves me from a salvo there. Thank you. Just I don't know if it's intentional or not, but I did miss out on a few shells there, I think. So still on Worcester, I think you're better with a full, like all-out reload, HE, fire build. Simply because when you are bow on in Worcester, you have very limited firepower. So I'll try it on Worcester as well, but I don't imagine it'll work as well as it does on Des Moines or the other ships I just mentioned. So that's the end of the battle here, and like I said, I didn't do anything. I was just sitting there, bow on, and I did 200,000 damage without breaking a sweat. And it's not like we had a terrible opposing team or anything like that, and 3200 XP. So easy ship, powerful ship, and a very interesting build here. So hope you like it, and see you out there.